Alright, I want to start this video by saying sorry in advance to all anime fans. You'll probably still cry in the comments, so I don't care. Plus, I am an anime fan, so there's no need to get sad. Anyways, I was scrolling through the YouTube when I came across this video. This video is pretty alright. It offers a fairly balanced opinion on both games, even though I might disagree on some parts, but the comments, oh my god, the comments in this comment section are actually the worst thing I've ever read in my life. Alright, let's start with this comment. It's pretty high up in this video. The thing that gets me about people calling Expedition 33 the evolution is that they're calling it that for things that we've seen in RPGs since about 30 years ago. Action commands have existed for a really long time, and the execution in Clair Obscur isn't necessarily better than any of the ones that came before. Just different in ways that are better and worse than the other games with the same mechanics. And I'd like to be clear, this comes from someone who really enjoyed Clair Obscur. Alright, let's break this down. This person disagrees that this game is an evolution, quote unquote, because it does things different. That's literally the definition of evolution, is doing something different. And I don't understand why they disagree with that. I mean, yeah, you can dislike it or like it, but it's different and it's not slop we've seen before. And comparing this game to Mario RPGs that came out 30 years ago, sure, you could say that, but that's not how art evolves, right? You could say that for any game. Oh, look, Ready or Not is not an evolution because it borrows mechanics from games like Halo from 2001. I mean, sure, you could say that, but that's just one of the mechanics. If you want to talk about evolution, it has to be the whole package. Everything, every part in the game comes together and makes something unique. That's the whole point why everyone likes this game. Why do you think everyone likes Baldur's Gate 3? Like Baldur's Gate 3, it didn't reinvent the wheel, but it did evolve the genre by using cinematic camera angles and fully motion captured cutscenes while you interact with NPCs, making it more immersive and accessible to a much wider audience. Every game has somewhat of the same mechanic from previous games because that's how art works. You borrow things from the past, but the way you present it in your own perspective is what makes it unique. And how many other games like Expedition 33 have you seen? How many other games with turn-based reactive RPG games have you seen with realistic graphics and a good story? I'd imagine probably close to none. So that's why it's an evolution. This guy sums it up pretty well. You decided to narrow evolution to just combat, but it's everything all together. And that's kind of the point of art and a product. If you want a good product, it has to be good in every front, from the idea to the small details. And that's kind of what these games are. Alright, this guy MBB 750, bro, that's literally me, bro. JRPGs have so much shit crammed into it that just makes the game super fucking long and super unbearably long, basically unplayable. I don't understand, but some people like it, so whatever. But saying like this comment, saying that the gameplay is so mishappen, the gameplay is an absolute chore. I don't understand what you're thinking, bro. How is it an absolute chore? If you can stand playing these shit fucking JRPG animes like Metaphors, ReFantazio, all that bullshit, I don't understand how Expedition 33 is a chore to play in gameplay wise. I think that's the strongest suit, is the gameplay. The gameplay is the thing that kind of sells. That's the whole point of a game, right? Gameplay at the top always. And this guy says an absolute chore, which I find the worst take I've seen. It's like saying, oh, I can read the whole Dune saga, but I can't read like a comic book. Like, I don't understand. This guy Sophie, absolute fucking moron. I don't want to say Clair Obscur is bad or anything. It's a good game, but the level design is a weak point. The map lacks visual clarity. Bro, there's literal flags that help you guide to the direction you have to go. Like, it's not a Ubisoft game. You don't need someone to fucking handhold you just to help you move. And if you get lost, bro, just retrace your past. And it's not that hard. The maps in this game aren't that big. It's not like you're playing an open world game where you have no idea where to go. There's like in this game, there's maximum like 3 diverging paths. You just have to pick one after the other and find the way to the next flag. It's not that hard. It really isn't. And these guys are attacking like parts of the games that are really not that bad, like compared to all the other fucking goy slop Japanese JRPG games. that they love. I don't understand. These type of people just hate anything that's popular since they played more games, but who gives a shit, bro? Who gives a shit? It's a good product and you guys just hate it because you realize that most people aren't ready to sacrifice hundreds of hours of their lives just to experience something that you like. Alright, this next comment is kind of insane. Glad someone said it. As someone who has played tons of turn-based RPGs, not just the mainstream or popular ones, I feel like I'm taking crazy pills with this narrative of Expedition 33 being new, innovative, and the evolution of the genre. When it takes on the combat, it isn't even new or even that good of an execution. Come on, bro, why we lie? If the execution was so bad, why would so many players eventually warm up to the combat and mechanics and in the end be able to enjoy turn-based RPGs? This is why I don't really understand the mentality of these types of people. When a new game comes out, they're always like, oh, this game is not unique, it's not that good. But at the same time, they'll be consuming very derivative looking games and playing games that are pretty much similar to previous entries in most aspects and still complain about games that come out that are actually different to what the market currently has. I get what you're saying in the end, but Expedition 33 got the formula right. Yeah, it's not if the mechanics have been done or not before. It's literally the whole thing, whole package together, neatly done. How many other games have you seen that have a good story, gameplay mechanics that's pretty unique, and good graphics, and good art style and art direction? There's barely any games like Expedition 33. That's why it's very popular, because how many other games can you recommend people who liked Expedition 33 to play? There is none. There are none. For the moment, there are none. I like Metaphor story and better and execution. 33 felt like I was watching Marvel, which I find cringe, and Metaphor felt robotic, but still better than Marvel. How the fuck are you calling Expedition 33 Marvel humor? Has this guy not seen a Marvel movie? There's nothing more cringe than dialogue in any fucking JRPG that came out ever.
These donuts are great. Jelly-filled are my favorite. Nothing beats a jelly-filled.
It's so fucking incredibly cringe and a chore to watch. JRPGs, where they don't feel robotic, they just feel retarded. They don't, most of the dialogue, it doesn't even sound human. I mean, that probably is thanks to the translation from Japanese, but like you don't feel like these characters like talk normally. Like you have to get your headspace into the anime world to have a chance to even bear this dialogue. What point does it sound like Marvel to you? At what point, bro? If Marvel was this good, every year I'd pay my whole family to watch Marvel movies if it was this half as good as Expedition 33's story and dialogue. Most of the anime boy slop games are fucking cringe and a chore to watch through. That's just the truth. It's just fucking impossible to enjoy most of these JRPGs. It's like a skill barrier, but instead of skill, the barrier is just fucking patience barrier. That's kind of the skill barrier JRPGs have, which is sad because a lot of JRPGs are actually good. But the fact that it takes me like 50 hours for the game to start being good, I'm not gonna fucking waste 50 hours of my time. Expedition 33, they take you 30 minutes. 30 minutes and you already invested. Most of these fucking shit ass JRPGs take fucking hours. I have things to do, you know? Like, sure, if you have nothing else to do, you have hours and hours to kill. RPGs are perfect for you, but most people that work, have a life outside of video games, do not have the fucking time to invest dozens of hours just to start feeling something, you know? That's the problem with fucking most JRPGs. They take way too fucking long to play. In the end, sure, the experience is good, but was it worth the time? You can make the argument of like, should it measure how good a game is with the amount of time it takes to get good? I know a lot of movies and a lot of other well-known pieces of media are like slow burns, but the problem is like most of those slow burn movies are maximum like 3 hours. You don't lose that much time compared to a JRPG where if you invest 30 hours and you don't get a return, you kind of feel scammed and you feel like the devs don't respect your time. And that's the problem with most JRPGs. The devs don't really respect your time, which kind of kills off a lot of potential for JRPGs. Why would I go blind in a JRPG while I can go blind in Expedition 33? Because main story takes only what, 30 to 40 hours, maybe less. Why would I risk experiencing like shit JRPGs and spending a lot of time while I could just spoil myself, find out which JRPGs are actually worth the time, the sacrifice of not going in blind. These are investments, bro. It's not like movies. Movies are 1 or 2 hours. You watch a shit movie, you move on, right? These JRPGs take fucking hundreds of hours. Actual wastes of time, bro. Why do they have to keep being fucking incredibly long? You don't have to be incredibly long. Oh, and then someone's gonna recommend me, oh, this game is short. But most of the good quote unquote JRPGs I've seen on the internet that are recommended have like upwards to 100+ hours you have to put into. If that's the general sentiment of JRPGs, then I'm not gonna fucking get invested in any. Are you seriously arguing? All right, this guy responds, are you seriously arguing that no other JRPG has nailed everything before? He was talking about the original Super Mario RPG, not Paper Mario. From the hardware available, it nailed everything you listed. It had turn-based but active combat. That's not the point. The point is that there are many games that nail, quote unquote, most of these aspects, from music, gameplay to art. There's tons of these games. But the thing is, they don't really stand out because they have similar art styles, similar music, and similar settings. That's the problem. I keep asking this question, but think of any game that has a similar setting, has a similar story, has a similar gameplay, has a similar art style. This close to none. This close to none. Metaphor Read Fantasio. Okay, it's a fantasy turn-based RPG with anime aesthetics. How many fucking games are like that? How many games are like that already that exist? There's a shit fucking ton of these shit ass games that exist already. And they're all shit. Sure, you can say Metaphor ReFantasio is good, but the thing is, it's derivative at this point. There are good things that are derivative and that are worth your time, but the thing, in the end of the day, it's something we've already seen before and presented it in a way that isn't too different from what other things we've seen before. Expedition 33 has aspects we've already seen before, but presented it in a way that never existed before, and that's why it's unique. That's why I don't understand why people keep making the argument that it's not unique. It is. The reason that this game is good is that it fulfills a demand people have while being the only one that does it. So that's why it's unique, because there's a big demand for this type of game. Not many developers have chosen to do it because it's not easy and it's a big risk. Meanwhile, Metaphor, whoa, anime art style, high fantasy, turn-based game. Wow, that's a classic trio. Like, how many games have we seen that are like that? They take the safe route. Expedition 33 takes the unsafe route, and that's why it's unique, because not many developers would take the gamble. Because big companies like Atlas Studios, they're gonna see this proposal and I'm gonna be like, what? This doesn't really exist, and it's a big gamble that might not pay off in the end. In the end, people don't like change. Whenever they see something new like Baldur's Gate 3, Expedition 33, things that push the boundaries, they won't like it because it is out of their comfort zone. And in the end, a lot of people choose the video game medium to escape into a fantasy.